Good morning, students. Today I am going to start Geography, Chapter 9, India, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. As you all know, that our chapter name is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife of India. In this chapter, we are going to study about the vegetation and wildlife of India. Now, firstly, we will see natural vegetation. In natural vegetation, there are three categories. Number first, grassland. Number second, forest. And number third, shrubs. Now, what is natural vegetation? Students, natural vegetation is the forest that covers and grows naturally without human interference. This refers to the entire growth of plant life from the smallest grass to the tallest tree. About one-fifth of India's land is covered with forest. Each of these forests is an ecosystem within which all living things interact with the local environment. The vegetation in the forest depends on the amount of rainfall. What are forests? India possesses a great variety of natural vegetation. We have about 47,000 plant species. According to an estimate, India is 10th in the world and 4th in Asia in plant diversity. Flowering plants alone number 15,000 in India. This is due to the difference in climate, soil, physical features, and relief of the country. On the basis of percentage of actual forest cover, it is divided into following categories. Number first, the region of high concentration. It includes states like Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and Mizoram. Number second, the region of moderate concentration, that is Goa, Odisha, Assam fall into this category. Number third, the region with very low concentration, that is Rajasthan, Punjab, and Haryana fall in this category. Forest cover in India. About 23% of the area should be under forest. But according to the latest census of 2001, 20.5% of area is under forest. The natural vegetation of India can be divided into five major divisions. We can see in this map, students, the tropical rainforest, the tropical deciduous forest, the thorny bushes, then the tidal forest, and the Himalayan forest. There are five major divisions we can see on this map. Now, next topic is wildlife. The type of animals found in a place depends on the climate, natural vegetation, and topography of the region. Large variety of forest found in India is a home to a large variety of wildlife. Around 80,000 species of animals are found in India. The wildlife in our country is our natural heritage and asset. India has a rich and varied wildlife. Various kinds of wild animals and birds are found in the Indian forest. There are elephants, rhinoceros, tiger, lion, etc. India is the only country in the world that has both lions and tigers. Lions of the Gir forest in Gujarat are well known all over the world. Tigers are found in the Himalayan region, the forest of Madhya Pradesh, and Sundarban of West Bengal. A large variety of deer and antelope, monkeys and langurs, wolf, jackals, and hyenas are found in the hills. We have more than 80,000 species of animals. We have also a large variety of birds, about 1200 species. Among such birds is the peacock, which has been declared as our national bird. Thousands of tourists visit India to watch these birds and animals in their natural state. Other common birds are myna, bulbul, and parrot. Camels, wild asses are found in the Thar region, and in Gujarat, elephant and rhinoceros roam in Assam, Kerala, and Karnataka. A large number of rare birds and animals have become extinct due to the reckless destruction of forests and guns of the greedy hunters. As a result, some beautiful species like cheetah, rhinoceros, musk deer, Indian bustard, and are in a danger of total extinction. Wildlife is a source of livelihood and subsistence. Due to existence of wildlife on earth, humans get benefit to sustain life. Wildlife plays an essential role in the ecological and biological processes that are yet again significant to life. The normal functioning of the biosphere depends on endless interactions amongst animals, plants, and microorganisms. Importance of wildlife to maintain ecological balance of nature and maintain food chain and nature cycles. In order to save wildlife, our government has taken several steps. The government has set up 86 national parks. In these parks, wildlife, natural vegetation, and natural beauty are preserved. Tigers are preserved in the Corbett Park. There's a park and rhinoceros in Assam. There are also wildlife and bird sanctuaries about 480 where both rare birds and animals live and roam about without any fear of being hunted. There is a large bird sanctuary at Bharatpur. Many zoological parks have also been set up by the government in different parts of India to preserve wildlife. The Board of Wildlife advised the government as to what steps it should take to preserve the wildlife. We can see in this map wildlife sanctuaries in India. Many steps have been taken to conserve natural vegetation and wildlife. So we can understand by this map. Now, forest. About the forest we are going to study. There are five divisions of forest in our country. So firstly we will see tropical evergreen forest. Now first is tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest, they are found in areas having annual rainfall of more than 200 centimeter with a short dry spell areas. The tropical rainforests are mainly found in the northeastern states, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, parts of Bengal, and the western slope of Western Ghat. Tropical evergreen forests are very dense. The trees are tall, about 40 to 60 meter, and so close to each other that they prevent sunlight from reaching the ground. Different trees shed their leaves at different times, so the forest remains green throughout the year. That is why they are called evergreen forest. Main trees found here are hardwood trees like mahogany, ebony, rosewood, and rubber and cinchona. There's a thick undergrowth of shrubs and creepers also. Now, wildlife in this forest are tigers, elephants, and many species of monkeys, birds, chimpanzee, and etc. Next is tropical deciduous forest. These forests are found in areas having rainfall between 100 to 200 centimeter with a long dry spell. These forests are of two types: moist deciduous forest and dry deciduous forest. Moist deciduous forests they are found in areas having rainfall 100 to 200 centimeter, and the main trees are teak, shal, shisham are the main forest of this type. They are found in foothills of Himalayas, eastern slopes of Western Ghat and Odisha. Next is dry deciduous forest. They are found in areas having rainfall 70 to 100 centimeter, and the main trees are bhil and amalthus, and these trees are found in parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, and these areas are the foothills of the Himalayas, Indian slopes of Western Ghat, Odisha, part of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. This type of forest is called tropical deciduous forest. You can see the picture and you can understand better. Now, wildlife of this forest are many animals are there. You can see in this picture tiger, elephants, deer, and many species of birds. Then reptiles also you can see snakes, many species of frogs. So many animals we can see in this forest. This type of animals are found. Next is tropical thorn forest. Tropical thorn forest. These forests are found in desert part, where areas having less rainfall, less than 100 centimeter or 50 centimeter of annual rainfall, and high temperature and a long dry season. Area is Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana. And the plants are, the vegetations are scattered short shrubs and bushes. Stunt trees with deep roots and few or no leaves. Leaves are needle-shaped, waxy, hairy or leathery to prevent loss of moisture in summers. Stems are thick so that they can store water. And the main vegetations are kikar, babul, cactus and khair are the main example of thorny vegetation. You can see this picture, cactus, kikar, babul, bushes, dry bushes. You can see this type of plants, this type of vegetation we can see in desert area. That is why this is known as thorny forest. Now, wildlife of thorny forest you can see in this picture. Many species of snake also we can see there, and camel is the main animal, and deer also you can see many species of deer also found in this part. Next is Himalayan forest. Himalayan forest, there are further of three types on the basis of altitude. Altitude number first is 1000 to 200 meters, and next is 2000 to 300 meters, and last is 3600 meters up to now. This type of forest, we can see that in the mountain regions, and vary with altitude because the temperature also keeps falling with increase in height. Okay. Himalayan forest, there are further of three types on the basis of altitude. First is wet temperate forest, 1200 to 2000 meters. Oak and chestnut are the important trees, and it is found in northeast part of India, Uttarakhand. Next is temperate forest, that is found in 2000 to 3000 meters. Trees are pine, devdar, silver, fir, and kedar, and area is Kashmir Valley. Number third is alpine vegetation. Altitude is 3600 meters, and trees are silver fir, pines, and area is Pir Panjal range, that is also in Kashmir. Okay, and after that we can see that hmm, at the higher altitude of the Himalayas, shrubs and alpine variety of grass grow. Beyond these vegetation belts are snowfields where barley or any plants grow. You can see this picture and you can understand the vegetations of Himalaya. This is known as also mountain forest. Now wildlife of Himalayan forest, you can see so many wildlife is there, so many species of animals we can see in Himalayan. In mountain forest, polar bear, we can see in Himalayan forest, we can found it here. Next is swamp forest or tidal forest. It is also known as tidal forest, and it is also known as mangrove forest also. These forests grow along the coast and on the edges of the deltas, that is the deltas of the Ganga, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. They are called tidal forests because their dense growth depends upon tidal water which submerges the deltaic lands during high tides, and they are also known as littoral forest. An example of the mangrove forest are the Sundarban, located at the lower delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra river. The Sundari is the most significant trees in this forest, hence the name Sundarbans. These forests supply timber and firewood, palm and coconut trees along the coastal strip. You can see Sundari trees, that is the picture of Sundarban forest, which is famous in West Bengal, and the wildlife also you can see of Sundarban. So many species of tigers, deers, birds, crocodiles. Now, forest policy and conservation. Why it is important? Forest policy was declared by Government of India in 1894 with the passage of time. When India became independent, trees were cut for making houses, etc. In 1952, forest policy was passed, which laid stress on conserving forest, expanding area under forest cover, conserving forest so that it meet the needs of present people and future nation. In 1988, new forest policy was passed which have following aims and objectives. Number first, bringing 33% of the area under forest. Number second, checking soil erosion. Number third, increasing production of forest to make timber, fuel and food available to rural population. Number four, creating massive awareness among the people for planting of trees. Number five, increasing forest cover through afforestation and social forestry. Conservation in India is very important. Conservation of wildlife, poaching of animals for their skin and other parts has endangered many animal species. Many of these animals are already extinct, and some others are on the verge of extinction or are critically endangered. The rich and fascinating variety of India's wildlife can be seen in 105 national parks, 18 biosphere reserves, 515 wildlife sanctuaries, and 48 tiger reserves established by the Government of India in an attempt to conserve this vital resource. Killing of animals and cutting down of trees have been banned in these parks and sanctuaries in order to provide secure habitat to wildlife. National parks are large reserved area of public land set aside for preservation of native plants, vegetation and wildlife. A wildlife sanctuary is a space that is set aside exclusively for the use of wild animals and is meant for the preservation of endangered species. The wildlife sanctuaries of India also include the bird sanctuaries, the Keoladeo National Park at Bharatpur in Rajasthan. Wildlife Conservation Week is celebrated every year in the first week of October to create public awareness about wildlife conservation. There are various projects are running by the government to save wildlife. We can see what are the projects. Projects have been taken up for the protection of elephants, tigers, rhinoceros, and bustard. Several wildlife sanctuaries and 27 project tiger areas has been set up. Many parks and biosphere reserves have been set up to conserve animals and vegetations. Anti-poaching laws are being implemented in a strict manner. Apart from these, steps like eco mark labeling for environment are being implemented. With all these efforts, we should go a long way in enjoying nature's bounties of our rich flora and fauna. The Indian Board of Wildlife was set up in 1952 to ensure protection and scientific management of the diminishing wildlife in the country. In order to preserve the fragile ecosystem on hilly and mountainous area, a ban has been imposed since 1983 on the felling of trees and at an elevation of 1000 meter and above. There are 90 national parks. 90 national park has been set up by the government. Now, what is national park? It is a large area with one or more ecosystem in which plants are grown by humans for the survival of animals. Various geomorphological habitat is provided for scientific education, recreation, etc. There are 92 national parks in India, like Bharatpur National Park in Rajasthan. Sanctuaries. Now, what is sanctuaries? It is a large area which is utilized for the conservation of animal life. There are 492 wildlife sanctuaries in India. For example, Gir Bird Sanctuary in Gujarat. Now see this map, student. Biosphere reserves has been set up by the government. We can understand by this map. So many biosphere reserve to protect vegetation, many species of vegetation to protect, to conserve them. So many biospheres has been set up by the government. Firstly, we will see Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It was established in 1986 and area acquired 5,520 square kilometer. It covers states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. It saves various vegetation like dry scrub, deciduous forest, etc. And it acts as a home for various animals also, for example, elephant, tiger, etc. About 80% of flowering plant species are reported here. Number next is Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. It is present in Uttarakhand. It covers part of Chimoli, Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand, and its area is 2236 square kilometer. It covered with temperature forest of silverweed, coniferous, etc. It conserves animals like black bear, brown bear, etc. Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, it also located in West Bengal and its area is 9630 square kilometer. It consists of mangrove forest and forest islands. It is a home of 200 Royal Bengal tigers. Many bird species from fish to shrimp are present here. Cheetal deer, wild deer are present here. Now, Gulf of Mannar Reserve. It covered 10,500 km of area in Tamil Nadu. It is the world's richest region with marine biodiversity. It includes 21 islands which are home for various plants and animal species. Students, forest research institutes also have been set up at Dehradun in Uttarakhand and Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. There is a proper government policy for protection, preservation, and development of forest. The government has put certain controls on export of forest products and made sandalwood oil as a restricted item of export. Social forestry programs like Van Mahotsav, which involve planting thousands of trees along roads, railway lines, and hill slopes, help in increasing the green cover in the country. Students, forests are very valuable to us, very useful to us. They serve as a home to millions of animals. They provide us with oxygen, which is essential for our survival. Trees regulate the atmospheric temperature and help to stabilize the climate. The roots of the trees bind the soil, which prevents soil erosion. They provide products such as timber, lag, gums, fodder, and medicinal herbs. Latex, which is used in making rubber, and turpentine come from forest trees. Group of trees grown around the farmland serves as a windbreak, providing a buffer for wind-sensitive crops. Students, the growth of industrialization and urbanization has put undue pressure on the forest. According to the National Forest Policy, the forest cover should be at least 33%, but the total area under forest cover is just 24%, which is way below the expected value. The forests are being cleared on a massive scale to acquire land for commercial purposes. This has caused a lot of environmental problems. Hence, it is time to realize the consequences of deforestation and create awareness for the conservation of forest. Animals and forest are very important part of our natural heritage and must be protected for future generation. Thank you, students. Thank you, students.